So you want to know how you can paint a realistic eye like this one? Stick around and I'll break it down for you. Okay, so I got these acrylic paints from a shop in my in my city, Blawayo, and they were very cheap, as you can see, made in China. That tells you a lot about the quality and the price of the paints. Anyway, these are the paints I'll be using. First is vermilion red, then grass green, and the other one is ultra blue, then burnt sienna, titanium white, crimson red, and yellow ochre. So I've got my paper, and prior to this, I went ahead and grounded the paper and drew a sketch on the paper so I wouldn't waste any time. So yeah, paper check, paints check, sketch check. Let's begin. So I took a picture of my eye to use it as a reference photo so I could make the painting look as real as possible. So to capture that form and that depth and the depth of the eye, I use the what you call it, the paint. I use painting on layers method. I don't know if that is a thing. Okay, I paint using layers. So I start with a very thin layer of paint, which is paint mixed with a lot of water. As you can see, my darkest, I'm not that dark. My darkest tone there is purple, dipped in a lot of water, and my lightest is blue, also mixed with a lot of water. So as I continue to progress, okay, I add more and more layers using less and less water. Okay, so which means the paint is becoming more and more thicker. But one mistake that you shouldn't make when you are painting something like this, especially for beginners. If you're a professional, good for you, okay? You don't need to listen to me. But if you're a beginner and you want to use this method that I'm using, okay, do not start with your lightest tones and your darkest tones. What do I mean by that? Don't start with your blacks and your white. In fact, do not add black and white as they are to the painting. Mix them with other colors so that if your painting has black on it, it won't look as good as it should be, because if you look really at pictures, the darkest parts or the darkest tones of the pictures are not really black. They are dark blues, dark purples, dark browns, but not black. Okay, do not add black to your painting when you're starting off. If it's necessary, do it. If you're a professional, do it. But if you're a beginner, do not. Okay, so that is the end of day one. This is what it looks like in day one. Just about 3 or 4 layers. As you can see, the form is starting to come out, and yeah, it's looking really good for the first day. So after letting it dry, I came back and started adding more and more layers. This time around, getting lighter and lighter tones. Okay, so I make sure that I don't put the lightest tone immediately. I start with the darkest lighter tone, if that makes sense. Darkest light tone. Okay, so if it's brown, a light brown that I'm looking for, I start with the darkest light brown. Okay, which means more brown and less white. Then as I keep on progressing, I add more and more white to the brown, eventually getting to a very, very light brown. Okay, So that's it. There's no secret to this. It's just putting layer upon layer upon layer. Nothing else. It's just your patience. On my fifth or sixth layer, I begin to add the shadows onto the painting. Okay, I paint them on top of the light parts of the eye. So you can see on the top of the eye, uh, there are these dark brown and purple sort of like tones. Those are the shadows that you see. Okay, then next I tackle the reflections. So the reflections are just simply glazes. What I mean by that is thin layers of paint mixed with a lot of water. So the purple that you see is just purple with a little bit of white and black mixed with some water so that you can get that transparent effect. On to the delicious part. So for the details, I put my darkest tone as purple. Then I started cross hatching using a range of browns to get the details, starting with the darkest brown, going up to the lightest brown. Then for the eyelashes, okay, I put the index finger, is that the index finger? Yeah, it is, down on the canvas. Then as I draw the eyelashes, I'm pulling them towards me so that I get that thin line that's sort of like fading as it's going towards the end. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. Obviously, I didn't finish it because I've got a lot of things that I'm working on right now, so I didn't have the time to finish it. And yeah, when I get the time, I'll finish off these eyelashes right here. So if you like the video or found it helpful, please like the video and comment down below what other tutorials you would like to see on this channel. If you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing because I'll be posting videos like this every end of week.